Someone asked me what I was looking for in a boyfriend, and I didn't know how to say. I'm looking for someone who has such an interest in me and everything that makes me me that they want to physically crawl up inside me. Not literally like that, but I guess also like that. And learn every groove and crevice of my brain and what makes me who I am, and have just such a yearning to know me. So instead I said funny.
Okay, what does it mean if I want a man who's like dominant and like rough, but also at the same time he's like sweet to me? Like, I hope I'm making sense. What is that called? Cause that's my type. That's what I want.
Next dude that I meet that don't want to take me out on a proper date, but wants me to pull up to his house, I'm robbing him. Yeah, I'm robbing him. I'm about to teach his ass a lesson about having strangers at your place of residence. Are you kidding me? You don't want to pay $20 for my meal and get to know me a little bit, but you want me to come and chill at your house for the free? Oh, I'm leaving with something. Yeah, believe that.
What's good, guys? It's your boy Josten J coming to you with another video. Let's cook, boys. Let's cook. All right. Women get confused when men don't want relationships with them in modern dating. We got action. Let's cook.
I've gotten to the point of being single where I just don't date anymore, and I'm totally fine with it. Because I just assume that all men are gay. Well, either you're gay or you're a fuckboy, because if you're actively dating and you can't find someone, like, I just don't believe you. Because there's so many amazing women out there. And like, maybe that's partially the problem. There's just too many options, but then that makes you a fuckboy, okay? Because yeah, I don't see any issues here. So like, why are you single? It's like, either you don't actually want a relationship or you just want a dude.
It's always men's fault. And this is why I try to drill this into your heads, right? Because when men actually accept this and they say, you know what, this is my fault, or this will be my fault, right? I'm not going to put myself in stupid situations. But women will also have a problem with this because you won't allow yourself to be put in stupid situations. Talking about men are down low because there's all these wonderful, amazing women out here. Well, if that's the case, then those men aren't going to be good partners, right? Because they don't know how to appreciate a good, amazing woman, right? So they're helping you. But this isn't the reason why they're single. Let's get the next one.
I finally understood why some of us girls are single. We are single because of our resting bitch face. We are single because we look very unapproachable. We are single because every time a cute guy looks at us, we look away. Because every time a cute guy smiles at us, we shy away. We don't even smile back, and it's not intentional. It's just natural instinct. We just shy away because we get nervous. But hear me out. When we don't like a guy, when we are not into him, when we don't find him attractive, we can be ourselves. We can be friendly. We can be goofy. We can be their bros, right? And then that's when they'll like start liking us, right? That's why we have the wrong guys after us, because it's the guys that we don't like. It's the guys that we see as bros. And I guess guys like bros because when you act like they're bro, they like you, right? But then the guys that you would want to be after you, they're really not, because they'll smile. They're like, you'll look away. You look very nonchalant, very unapproachable. So also these guys these days don't want to pursue, right? Like if you don't smile back and you don't look nice and friendly, they're not going to pursue you. And I totally get it. If I was a man, I wouldn't want to pursue a woman or approach a woman that looks like a bitch. That's kind of scary, right? So I totally get it. Even though we're not bitches, even though we're kind, we're nice, we have a good heart, we have feelings, but I totally get it. So I guess moral of the story, you're either gonna have to learn to, start liking one of those guys that you see as bros, or you're gonna learn to smile and become approachable and, become welcoming. Like, stop being shy. Stop being shy. How old are you, girl? Stop being shy.
She's saying exactly what I say, but just from a woman's point of view. Either you're gonna give the guys that you don't like a chance, or you're going to cooperate with the guy that you're attracted to. This clip pretty much sums up when guys are like, yo, I think she's attracted to me. I know I'm an attractive guy, you know, but she's acting weird. You know, she was acting like she was into it, but she's not. Bro, a lot of these women, it's not anything wrong with you. They just don't know how to cooperate. She just said it. You got a bunch of guy friends. You treat them like one of the bros. They really like you, but you don't like them. They're used to it going this way. Then they get around you. They might like you, but they don't know how to act. It doesn't feel right to them. So they reject themselves. They eject out of the situation. It's nothing against you. See, women like a guy who's attractive. Yes, they will move in that direction. But a lot of times, women just mess it up because they don't know how to handle it anyway.
I don't know what this effect would be called, but I fear I have it where I happen to be a man's like last girlfriend, last fling, whatever it may be, before they find their wife and they decide to like settle down and start a family. I've just like noticed a pattern in my dating history where I think there's like 4 or 5 men now where like, you know, we casually date and then like a month later they have found the one. There was a man that I dated. Well, I dated him. I don't think he dated me, for like 2 years, and he didn't have social media, so I used to have to stalk his Pinterest to see what he was up to. One day I'm stalking his Pinterest and I see that he has a shared Pinterest board with a woman, and there is cribs inside of the Pinterest board. And that is how I found out that he found the love of his life, and within a few months they were engaged, and within a year they had a baby on the way. And I was like, well, you like couldn't even take me to dinner. Another man, I only casually dated him for like 2 months, but I will say he told me he loved me on the second date. We broke up, and then a month later he got back together with his ex-girlfriend, and now they're married. The other effect that I have on men is I have an IUD, so I think that makes men, first of all, feel very safe and comfortable, if you catch my drift. But I've noticed a trend after like I date them, they date another woman, and like I have conversations with them because then they accidentally end up having a baby on accident. This has happened twice. Dated a guy twice, 2 different guys. I have my IUD, so they're like, ooh, this is the life. And then we break up, and they're like dating a girl who's on some form of birth control, not an IUD. And they're like, but she said she was on birth control. And I'm like, babe, So I think I think I'm going to tell myself I've helped 2 pregnancies happen as well. But I don't know. What an interesting, I'm just like, maybe don't date me or you're going to find your wife. And if you don't want to settle down, that's going to suck for you.
So basically the Trish effect, the bop effect. She's a Trish. That's all she is, because check this out, right? Women don't understand that guys are good catches even if it's not for you. And you couldn't lock one of these dudes down, so now you got to make this video to kind of sound like, you know, you helped the guy or make a joke out of it. You got your IUD, right? There's going to be plenty of guys that still want to smash raw, right? So everybody wins here. So you can continue to smash dudes raw, and then they'll move along, and then they'll find a chick that's for them. Or maybe, just maybe, you might find the guy that's for you. Only time will tell. Let's get the next one.
I am so tired of being single. It's been basically 3 years. And at this point, I truly feel like I don't even remember what being in a relationship feels like. And I know that sounds so dramatic, but I am so used to being by myself that I like can't even imagine having like a person that is just always there. And every time I complain about being single, are you on the apps? Yeah, I'm on the apps, and it's a hellscape. I truly am in a relationship with it where I just go on it, feel hopeless, and just like I give up, and then I delete it, and then I get so desperate to at least try to find the idea of someone that I re-download it. I'm literally 30 years old, and I'm getting swiped right on by men that are either of my age or older that have intimacy without commitment as their relationship preference. I genuinely feel hopeless, and I don't really care how pathetic that sounds. I give up. I haven't been looking. Everyone says, well, you shouldn't look. I haven't been looking at all. I took a break from dating for a reason. And now I'm just stuck in a drought, it seems. And I am feeling really just lost. I don't know what to do anymore. And I hate this generation.
Men are not offering her relationships at all. So how can you see, you can't sit up here and be like, I'm so used to being alone, I don't find anybody attractive, blah, blah, blah. Ain't nobody offering you anything. See, the women that really pop their stuff, man, I got all these dudes. Dudes keep trying to take me out. Dudes are sending me money and I'm curving them. That's one thing. What you're doing here is saying, I'm good alone, but nobody's checking for you. And it's like, you know, well, I'm going to just sit over here alone. That's fine. Yo, let me ask you a question. Get in the comments and let me know. How many times do you see men getting on camera complaining about being single? Actually complaining about being single like this? Let me know. And if I'm wrong, once again, I'll correct myself. But I don't see this just constantly over and over again because it's mind-blowing to a woman. Like, I can't get a dude? Really? Yeah, you can't get a dude. And she gets on the apps and still plays games. You see how she mentioned the dudes who have casual, short-term in their bio or on their profile. Why are you talking about them? You need to be talking about the guys looking for a relationship. Oh, once again, they're not going to make the cut. So another one down of a man's indifference for the books. Let's get the next one.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but I guarantee if you sit down and actually really get to know that person, you wouldn't be so fucking obsessed with them. You see, the second you start to find somebody attractive, okay, and you're desperate to be in a relationship, to be in love, to be whatever, you're gonna start projecting every fucking fantasy you have in your head about them onto them. Be like, oh, they could be this, they could be that. Oh my God, they seem like the type of person to do this. You're projecting, whatever. I need you to understand what you're doing is you're putting them on a pedestal, and they've done absolutely fucking nothing to prove that. Okay? Let them prove to you if they're worthy of your time. Let them prove to you if they're actually meant to be in your life. Not the other way around. The person who you're thinking about probably doesn't even exist. Okay? Okay? So put yourself back on the pedestal. This is your life. You get to call the shots. You get to decide who's in it or not. It's your life. And if you want this person to be in your life, okay, then they'll be in your life. Anything that's meant for you will never pass you by. Okay? I need you to understand that.
A bunch of guys hit and quit. She couldn't lock it down. So now she needs to sabotage a bunch of other women's relationships who put their men up on a pedestal, who treat their men good and get good treatment back. How does that work? See, she doesn't want you to ask why. That's why she starts the video off of, that's why she starts it the way she starts it. She doesn't start it like, this is what I've learned because I've been screwed over because men didn't want to lock it down with me. I couldn't make that happen. So now you need to understand this from my point of view. No, it's just like how she's saying it. But what happens if women treat dudes good from the beginning, put them on a pedestal even, king's treatment, and it works in their favor? Oh, well then she's a pick-me. She's a pick-misha. There's always some deflection. Because you got done dirty, because you went for your type. You didn't try to figure out if they were really for you. You didn't try to figure out anything. I'm attracted to them. My head is full of nonsense. This is why I tell you guys, don't do too much. Because when they do find you attractive, that's how it goes. They start thinking all of this stuff in their head, and they're like, oh, he must be this guy. Oh, he's great at this. He must do this. I wonder if he does this. This must be great with him because of this. The moment you start doing too much, oh, he just like the rest of them. We can make him wait. But this video doesn't do anything because when a woman really likes a dude, she will operate like this, especially younger chicks, and men like younger women. So you're not really doing anything. It's just that misery loves company. So now she wants to get on camera and try to block another woman's blessing. Don't treat men too good. You know, they have to prove themselves to you and all of this stuff. This is why dating is hard for women, bro. Because it's not fun. Dating is supposed to be fun. You hear people say that all the time. Dating used to be fun. If things didn't work out, they just didn't work out. But see, now they're relying on it because they need it. Times are getting hard out here.
Hey, yeah, excited for this fourth date. I just wanted to talk to you about something real quick. So embarrassing. I was showing my friends your Hinge profile. You know, I'm just like telling them about this cute guy I'm talking to. What's the nickname I used for you? Can't disclose that info, yeah. But anyways, yeah, and I noticed when I was showing your profile to them, you updated a few of your photos. Yeah. What do I think of them? Yeah, no, and I totally, not trying to be weird here or anything, because I know it's been 4 dates and we're not exclusive or anything. I guess just wanted to pulse check, you know, like what that was about, like what you're thinking, what you're feeling. You didn't even think about it. You were just updating a few of your photos. Okay, yeah, for sure. No, for sure. I don't think about it. No, it's just funny. I just like update my Hinge like once every couple months. So it's just like funny that you were updating your Hinge so much. I am looking for something serious, like we discussed on our first date, and you said the same. You are too. Okay. Well, this has been a good talk. Yeah, maybe we'll do this again sometime.
Another one of a man's indifference. So he changed his picture on the dating app profile. He changed his pictures around, and you have a problem with that. Why? It's the 4th date. He doesn't owe you anything. Isn't this the same thing that they do? When you're so sure about them, they start playing with you, playing with your feelings, trying to see if there's something better. And if you act like this, you're not attractive anymore. You're controlling. You're doing too much. What are you confronting him for? He doesn't owe you a relationship. He doesn't. You know, women have to understand, right, that men control the relationships. Can you get a guy to sleep with you? A bunch of guys to sleep with you? Yes, you can do that. And that's your prerogative. There's nothing wrong with that. But, you know, when it comes to relationships, a guy is doing himself a favor, a service, by saying, you know what, let me slow down. Because we're not the same, right? They say they don't want bums. So you don't want bums. Let's take that off the table. We need to make sure you ain't got no debt behind you. We need to make sure you're not on all these medications. We need to make sure that you won't flip off the handle the moment that you hear no. And see, this is actually helping him. You're confronting me for what? This is the equivalent to saying no to her. What are you confronting me for? Because I changed my pictures? What are you confronting me for? Because I said no and I have the right to say no? The vetting process is very important. And this clip is showing it to you. Men don't have to rush for relationships. For what? You're taking on a lot when you get into relationships. Relationships aren't fun and games. See, young men think, oh, this is going to be great. I'm going to have this woman around all the time. Older men understand, damn, I'm going to have this woman around all of the time and I have to look out for her. It's not just about me taking care of me. I have to look after her needs, her well-being. I have to guide her. I have to pay for things. So much that goes into a relationship. So the woman that earns that will be put in that position. You're not going to bully some dude into getting you into a relationship. That's not how it works. Especially with the guys that you want, because the guys that you want can say, bye. So this was women get confused when men don't want relationships with them in modern dating. Hope you guys got a lot out of it. It's your boy, Josten J. Get with you boys in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Men have proven to me once again how useless they are. Okay? Let me tell you about my tire that I had to get replaced. The tire was flat, okay? I went to the discount tire to get it patched. Guys, okay? Let me tell you what happened, Bessie. The useless man at the counter went over there with his little machine and he was like this over all four of my tires. I was like, I don't know why you're doing that when I just need one tire patch. But go off, sister. He's examining all four tires. He says, yeah, this tire that you need the patch on, it's on at a 2 out of 10. I don't fucking know what that means. Okay, go off. 2 out of 10. The two other ones on the passenger side, yeah, they're at a 3. And your last one is at a 5. I don't know what that means. But then he proceeds to tell me, yeah, we're just going to go inside and see how much it's going to cost to replace all 4 of these. We are not replacing anything. We're not replacing anything. We're patching the tire, Papa. That's what I came in here for, to patch the tire. He wouldn't patch the tire because it's at a 2 out of 10, and apparently they won't service the tires if they're at that low of a number. I said, okay, give me the one tire. One tire. I will come back when I have the funds for the other 3. Do you know what he does? He said, I'll just ring you up for 2 and I'll give you a discount. Fine. Give me the 2 tires. Give me the 2 tires, okay? Because now you've created more of a problem for me. I came in here for a patch. I'm leaving needing 4 tires. Go figure. This happens every time. But okay. You know your job, right? You know what you're doing. I don't deal with tires. You do. So I'm going to listen. I'm going to be polite. I already don't want to pay for these 2 tires. Pay for the tires. I leave. I get a phone call telling me that the service is done for the 1 tire that I needed. Great. Wonderful. What about my 2nd tire? Well, apparently there's a lug nut that's stuck on the tire. There's a lug nut that's stuck on the tire. I said, okay, what do you want me to do about that? I certainly can't take a stuck lug nut off of a tire. So what do you want me to do? This is your job. Well, we can break it, but that's going to require you to go to the shop and get it replaced. We might have to break the whole stud because the whole thing just seems like it's spinning in place. I don't know what you're saying. You're a man. Do your job. Break it. I don't know what to... It sounds like I don't have a fucking choice because you sold me a tire that I didn't want in the first place. Now you're telling me you can't get the old tire off to fucking replace it with the tire that you just told me that I didn't want. Go ahead and break the stud. I will look into having it replaced. Okay? They call me back to tell me that they can't break it. What? Your whole job is to fix people's problems with their tires. And now you're telling me that you sold me a tire that you can't even put on my fucking car? I said, forget it. I'm going to hold on to this receipt. And when I figure out the problem that you just created in my life, I will come back and get my tire that I paid for that I didn't want to pay for so that you can put it on. Because you can't put it on after you discovered a problem that you created in my life that wasn't a problem before. Needless to say, I need to figure out now how to get the stuck lug nut unstuck, break the stud, whatever that fucking means. There's a mechanic that already wanted to charge me $600 to do that. I'm not paying you. You're worthless. Okay? There were 4 men that day that I dealt with that were absolutely worthless. You actually created more of a problem in my life than what I initially intended for you to solve in the first place. Now it's a fucking hot mess. Thank you very much, you worthless men. I'm sick of them.